far and away the most requested video on this channel at any time of year is a Trophy Lodge tour, and as it is December 31st, we can consider this a wrap on 2023 and a walk down memory lane. So one quick note before we get started with this Trophy Lodge tour, I will be linking as many hunts in the description below as possible, and unfortunately there is a character limit on the descriptions and we filled that up several years ago with these lodge tours, so I'll be replacing some of the older ones with some new hunts to keep that a little bit fresher. So this is no doubt going to be a long video. Sit back, relax, grab a snack, and we're going to go for a walk down memory lane, and it always starts right here in the entrance of the Trophy Lodge. We've got an albino diamond whitetail, 278.8. He was a level 2 diamond, shot during the Great One grind back on April 30th of 2020. Then of course the Great One, shot on June 10th of 2020, 633.1 score. I think it was the third Great One shot ever, and for that reason he is always going to be front and center in the entrance of the Trophy Lodge. And then also among them was the Piebald, shot just shy of a week before our Great One, a Piebald diamond. That was a level 3, smaller than the level 2 diamond at 278.5. Back then the diamonds were a lot bigger, and it certainly makes for a nice multi-mount. Speaking of nice multi-mounts, we've had all kinds of different things over the years here, but I think this is by far my favorite. Fabled Silver Diamond Fallow Deer, 6,139 kills to get him, and he is stunning. The Irish elk rack, the silver fur, they go so well together, and it's pretty cool having kind of the double huddle for the different deer species in our entrance with Great Ones to highlight them. Also in there, we've got a white diamond at 269.7 and a chocolate diamond at 270.4. I believe those were the two biggest diamonds for their respective fur types that we got during the grind. We'll stay here in this room, and I do want to do this wall because I tend to forget it. Going across, we've got a Bighorns diamond chamois. This one scores at 58.4. I think a newer addition, I guess it was last April, a 225 albino whitetail. Got, I think, the only iteration of this particular rack for Rocky Mountain elk, a 488.1. One of our first diamond Rockies. This was June of 2020. So Silver Ridge Peaks released in 2020. He was not our first diamond elk though. That is actually just opposite him. We'll visit that in a little bit in the other room. This is from last December, not too long after New England Mountains came out, a Melanistic 224 gold whitetail, and finally a 59 score Honeytones fur type chamois. Up above that, a couple of Bighorns Diamond Cape Buffalo, 156, which by the way is the minimum score to have the Bighorns, and a 157.8 next to that. And that got that wall out of the way that we will not now forget. Over here we've got a little diamond whitetail jackrabbit, 6.6 score. Got a cottontail rabbit back here, 1.9. I do believe this was 2021, so that was right after Mississippi came out. This was our first diamond eastern cottontail. I think that was early access. December 5th, it may have been. Also over here, a diamond European hare, and our first ever 9+ Canada Goose, shot back in 2020. I always wanted one that scored over 9, and we finally got it on Hirschfeld. We've got a 323 diamond mule deer up there. This is, I think, one of two droop tine racks. The main beams kind of droop down at the end that we've got in this lodge. One is the gray variant, the other one is the blonde variant. On our back wall, we've got a couple of matching mouflon, the 184 light brown and 183 brown. In the middle, a 157 dark brown wild hog, and some kind of newer things. We've got the diamond tufted duck from back in 2022, and then this one, much newer, our diamond widgeon that we hunted so long for and finally got last month, 930 score, and I believe he would have been our second to last diamond, getting to the point where we have every single diamond in the game and in this Trophy Lodge. So as we walk around, we will see at least one of every possible diamond. We do have two diamond red deer here. These are from the Great One grind, or so I thought. Oh, actually this one, I think was shot on Hirschfeld. It's a 266.1, March of 2022. Maybe that was the red deer grind. I guess it would have been. And then this is actually the smaller big rack, if that makes sense. There's three different diamond racks, and this is kind of the middle one. 254 for him. That was June of 2020. Then over here we have a couple of diamond springbuck. This is the old Bighorns at 114. And then our only diamond true horns one, and it may stay that way, 82.9 score. You see the difference. And that 82.9 is pretty big. The old racks, or the old horns I should say, are so much bigger and so much more impressive. I'm not sure that I want to replace a whole bunch of them with the true horns, but we had to go and get at least one. And I do believe that will wrap up our first room. Now, I mentioned our first ever Diamond Rocky Mountain Elk is opposite the other one. This guy at 506.8, this was June 24th, just to compare. Out here was June 27th, so 3 days later we got this one. But our first one, shot live on stream with the recurve bow, 506.8. Still one of my favorite trophies, and it kind of is the centerpiece for, I think, my favorite wall really in the entire lodge. Opposite him, we've got a Piebald Gator 429 score. That was at the very beginning of a video where we set out to try to get a gold rare gator and got it like immediately. So we had nothing to do for the rest of the video. Then we've got this albino that I thought was going to be a gold. Alligators used to score at the top of their estimate when they were a rare variation, and this guy's estimate went into the gold requirement. He didn't score at the top of the estimate. He is a silver, but it does look really, really nice up there. I'd love to get a gold albino. Maybe one day we'll do it, or possibly even a gold albino croc. But they do look nice. Two newer additions are albino sandbar at 135. I really like the look of that. I just think, you know, we've got a bunch of rares in this room. The sandbar deer are some of the best looking albinos in the entire game. We've got our diamond hog deer over on the other side of that, and this mount, maybe we should look at that because we got to keep going back and forth from it. A 110.9 score, a couple of diamond red deer at 267.3, one of our best ones ever actually, and on this side, a 267.1. Both of those are from the red deer grind as well, and since I mentioned it, this mount here, we've got the melanistic female mountain lion. I think we killed two on this hunt. This was June 25th of 2020. If you haven't noticed, the first week or so of when Silver Ridge Peaks came out, June of 2020, we were hunting a lot and getting a bunch of trophies. In that multi-mount, we've got a 412.8 diamond Roosevelt elk. This was right before Silver Ridge Peaks. Not long after a great one, a couple of things I wanted to cross off the list. Diamond Truax elk was on there. This guy was a max weight that we grinded for on our single player map. Back to this wall, a couple of rare plains bison, 159.2 leucistic, and a 161.2 albino. And then up top, a couple of axis deer, a 229, and on the other side, a 228. These are from October of 2020. I think they were still kind of common then, something I'd like to eventually replace. And then some Sika deer, one newer one from back in October. This was taken with the takedown recurve, the newest bow added to the game. And on the other side, a much older one. That is the spotted variant at 199 from February of 2021. So we don't miss them. A multi-mount of two diamond pheasants, the molting variant, 21.2, alongside a also 21.2 brown variant, and a couple of deer, diamond whitetail at 271 and diamond blacktail with the big rack at 189.2. I think that's the biggest diamond blacktail in this lodge, and maybe we should have a more prominent spot than a random corner of this room. We can even look into that. I've been moving some stuff, and you'll see that throughout this lodge. We do have our diamond green wing teal. This was also not long after New England came out. 499.1 max weight, not max score, as is the luck we tend to have in this game. And then our two diamond Rebentuli geese, our gray lag at 3.9 and our tundra bean goose at 3.1. We grinded forever to get these things, and then we shot them 3 days apart. It was absurd trying to do that Rebentuli Coast single player only diamonds challenge, but it was so worth it. Speaking of worth it, a 24-hour stream kill, our biggest diamond mule deer ever at 338.6, or I should say our biggest diamond mule deer that didn't have the glitchy rack. We'll get into that eventually. There is one with the fixed glitchy rack in this lodge, but removing the glitched ones, our biggest one ever, and it was so cool to get it on the 24-hour stream. We had internet issues, it was a whole thing, and we ended up getting a giant diamond mule deer. My favorite mule deer, though, is the melanistic. 298.3, a Parque Fernando kill, I think with the 7mm. I seem to recall shooting it with that, and it's such a good rack. What I love about it are these little stickers you see on these tines. Anytime I think of a trophy mule deer, and we've talked about this a lot, I think of those additional tines. I love that our melanistic has that. And then, our only rare black grouse, a leucistic gold 110.6. We shot him like 75 meters away or so, with the shotgun just flying away. Saw him, knew he was a rare, and had to get him. Fortunately, that shot landed and brought down such a cool looking rare. They really are a unique bird. Quickly on the back wall here, a diamond wildebeest 39.9. Just can't quite crack max score. I think that was max weight as well. That was April this year. I do believe that was max weight. Got a Diamond Mountain Goat light gray variant at 112.5 and a max score female Diamond Gemsbug at 358. So I talked about moving stuff. I decided to bring this multi-mount out front because of the Gray Fox, a Piebald Diamond 6.4. This was shot like 2 a.m. prepping content for traveling to Georgia for the holidays, and just the luckiest animal probably we've ever had in multiplayer. A Piebald Diamond Gray Fox. So we got him paired with, I guess that would be our biggest Diamond Red Fox. Not ever, because we killed a 15 plus back on the old scoring system, but our biggest on the new system at 14.9, the Dark Red variant. And then just a really cool mount. We've got this albino gold Jackrabbit, the only one we've ever had. We've also got a 58 scoring common Diamond Coyote. But this Piebald Gold 49.9, he was shot during the Whitetail Great One grind. You see, that's May 10th. We were running around looking for new zones, and a level 6 Piebald Coyote ran out right in front of us. It's what I love about these lodge tours, are these little stories that can be forgotten, and it's so cool walking around remembering some of this stuff. But it's the reason, you know, like we have this significant multi-mount out front now, it's why I like to keep this here, because the circumstances behind all these kills are just so cool. But I do believe, oh, we missed the albino bison back here, a 175.3 gold. Now I do believe we've gotten every animal in this room, so we'll move on to the main hallway. And as of the last Trophy Lodge tour, this particular mount was not here. I don't even know what we had here at the time. I think it was just a rare red deer maybe, but we've now got our great one, 263.7, shot him through the neck with the bow while drinking. Another super long grind, 5,000 plus kills. It was so nice to finally get that done. Got that paired with a melanistic female red deer. On the other side, kind of a wall of diamond deer. Got a fallow, this is of course from the fallow Great One grind, a 270.7. I wanted to put him in the multi-mount and have two 270s, but that white variant, 269.7, it's too good looking. I had to put this one on the wall instead. We also have a 282 Diamond Whitetail. They simply do not get that big anymore. This is March of 2020. That would have been just before Great Ones were a thing. But I like to keep some of those old relics around. There's actually another relic. Why don't we look at that? Opposite of that, a 401.5 Diamond Caribou. If you go out and hunt caribou right now, you will see the diamond requirement is 430 and change. For a brief time, caribou can make diamond, I think, at 400.5. This is just one of my favorite racks. I love these split tines at the back, and it's why I keep him here. He wouldn't be a diamond today, but he was when we got him, and he's one of my absolute favorites. Again, just a unique kind of relic that we get to keep in this lodge. We do have another diamond blacktail here at 187.7, and then another big rack mule deer. This was also shot this year with the 243 handgun, I believe. A 338.2, another Parque Fernando giant. And we've had such luck with mule deer on all kinds of maps, but they just look so good in this trophy lodge. So that we don't miss them, we've got another new kill from October, a dark brown. This was a mythical 8.8 scoring raccoon dog. Our only big rare one, and it wasn't even during our grind to get the diamond. Speaking of the diamond, our 9.3 scoring diamond that we did get in single player after so much time. Got him paired with a 800 scoring Willow ptarmigan, which by the way is not max score. The max score is 810. He just happens to be 800 flat. We also had a new addition in this leucistic gold magpie goose. Such a cool looking animal, it really is. I love how prehistoric the magpie geese look, and the leucistic just highlights that. They are just so cool. I'm really glad we can have that in this main hallway. We'll also quickly take a look at the rabbits here. We have, I think, now the only diamond European rabbit displayed. We talked about that in yesterday's video. 2.4 score. We've since removed so many of them from the lodge in favor of other things. This one, of course, will get to stay there. Then we've got the diamond mountain hare. This was shot, I think, it was in an early access period. It would have been retrievers. So actually Shadow got to retrieve this diamond mountain hare for us. It was not our single player on Reventuli Coast. The last thing I would have thought. We've killed 2 diamond mountain hare in single player. Just quickly, a couple of diamond axis deer. This is from October of 2022. So actually more rare diamond than when they were super common when they were released. And then we do have an older one, the dark variant, a 223.4 diamond. With the new furs since Emerald Coast, the dark variant especially, they look so much better. Then we have a bunch of diamond blackbuck, a 134, a 132. On the other side, instead of crawling, maybe we could just look at our blackbuck, a 138 and a 138.7. The one on the far right is our biggest one in this lodge. Then we've got the other spiral horns, 2 diamond kudu. We've got the one from 2021, not terribly long after true racks for kudu were released, 151.8, and then forever later, I wanted to get a second one to match it. Earlier this year, we got it even bigger than the last, a 154.8, and that really did complete that wall back there. Now we've got a multi-mod I'm still kind of working on, if that makes any sense. I believe max weight grizzly bear at 68.9, not max score unfortunately, and then an albino grizzly, 60.6. If you didn't know, gold is 60.8. He was so close to being an albino gold, and that's what I'm saying when I say I'm working on it. I want a gold albino so badly, but it looks amazing in this hallway, and he has to stay there, silver or otherwise. Then back here, another multi-mount we spent a ton of time on, albino Cape Buffalo 136. He is our biggest rare Cape Buffalo. Then we've got the diamond lion at 49.9. That was also shot this year, and yet again, talked about that trend, max weight, not max score unfortunately. But then we do have 2 rare females, the dark brown, that's the one on the inside, and the blonde, they're on the outside. I think both multiplayer kills if I'm not mistaken. We'll go ahead and finish off this hallway by going back this direction. Got our biggest diamond Cape Buffalo ever at 161.1. That was shot back in April of 2021. A newer addition in the diamond bantang here, a 143.8, which I think means that most recent one we got is our biggest one. We'll have to check. I forget if it was 142 or 144. Then we've got some small diamonds. Our diamond stubble quail, 239.4, only one we've ever gotten. And our only ever diamond bobwhite quail, a 260.7. Notice this is a female. Female bobwhite quail made diamond for a while there. Now it's the males, and we have yet to find a level 3 to get a chance to take a male diamond stubble quail. Our other diamond mountain hare back from November of 2022 at 5.7. This is a kill that I consider significant. This is a brown variant, smaller horns, 153.4 diamond Cape Buffalo. When this was shot, brown variants for the Cape Buffalo were not nearly as common, so it was much more of like an uncommon diamond, whereas now if you get one, and we do have another one in the lodge that was shot when they're more common, it's not quite as special unfortunately. Got another diamond Rocky Mountain elk here at 491, and then I believe we just have these back kills. Got 2 diamond raccoons, a 12.9, this was I think a 24-hour stream kill right at the very end. Nearly max score. Got a blonde diamond at 12.1. This was a fairly new kill on a crazy hunt on Reventuli Coast. 8.9 scoring brown hybrid diamond goose. We shot it off the ground, it just randomly flew into view and we were able to take it down. And then during that crazy grind to try to get the diamond tundra bean goose and diamond gray lag goose, we got something absurdly rare. Our only rare gray lag in thousands of kills. Hybrid variant, gold at 3.4. They do look really nice as well. Something that maybe we'll consider moving out closer to the front of the lodge, but I do like it in the entrance to the back room, which by the way, we are going to save for last. So what I think we'll do is maybe go through these side rooms while we're here. Lots of stuff in this one, and a memorable kill in this melanistic mythical Mexican bobcat. 27 score. This was shot the day after our Great One Red Deer. We had a 2-day stretch there of crazy luck. Got our other Mexican bobcat here, a 28.9. This was our first diamond and remains to be our biggest. On this back wall, just got a diamond capercaillie, I think our only 4.8. We've had a bunch of 4.7s, but the only one to crack 4.8 shot in September. Got a diamond roe deer, the absurd score of 85.5999 repeating. Got another diamond roe deer at 83.7. Another new kill in our albino raccoon from just a couple of weeks back. And now our only diamond jackal in this lodge. Also shot this year. This was when we had a new cosmetics pack. I think the summer cosmetics. We went for a hunt and killed our biggest ever diamond jackal with the 223 dressed up in the summer cosmetics. 30.5 score. And I kind of can't stand that he's on the wall. This will probably be the last Trophy Lodge tour that has every diamond in the game all in one lodge. Probably next time we're going to go to 2 lodges, so that things like that, I don't like predator species on the wall. I think they're better on full body mounts, and maybe we can do that for the next lodge tour. Anyway, back here we've got a red-brown diamond warthog at 61.7, of course the big tusks. Opposite him, a 62.5 dark variant, and then our diamond musk deer 251. We grinded for that forever and got him in February of 2021, and somehow musk deer have been made so much easier to get diamonds of with just how they drink on Medved. We still haven't gotten another diamond. A couple of diamond moose, a 278.8 and a 278.2. All the diamond moose we'll see in this lodge will have different antlers, by the way, which is something I kind of intentionally set up. We do have an old max score diamond plains bison at 245.5. Of course, now they have true racks, so max score really isn't a thing, but I still like to keep that one up there. A couple of diamond chamois, a 60.5 on that side and a 60.8 opposite him. 2 diamond feral pigs, 154.4 and 151.4. There's 2 variations of brown hybrid. This is by far my favorite. I love the white fur on this one. I just think it looks really, really nice. We have our other giant grizzly bear. This was yet another 24-hour stream kill. Same stream as the mule deer, by the way. 68.9, almost max score. Our mountain goats, one of my absolute favorites, a melanistic gold, 105.9, nearly a diamond. And the diamond over here at 108.5. And then our red deer, 266.9. For quite some time, this was our biggest diamond red deer ever. On the other wall, we've got our diamond Cape buffalo at 159.5. Our albino Rio Grande turkey, which was on a full body mount for forever, finally moved in here to the wall opposite a diamond eastern, 4.6. We've got over here a diamond gray leg. This was our second one, shot in July. That was from multiplayer after we finally completed the single player challenge. Our new diamond magpie goose. Our only, I believe, gold medal black gold wild boar, a 105.7 shot in April of 2021, and a diamond wild boar opposite that. This is, you'll notice, June 10th of 2020. The last diamond whitetail we shot before our great one. He'll always stay there because of that significance of the date. Again, kind of a relic. They don't score that high anymore, but it's so cool to have that. Then we do have a 259.6. I added this guy because this is the only deer with this rack that we've got in the entire lodge. We've got so many with the big rack for diamonds. I never put the medium rack in here. Finally went ahead and put that one. Just a little bit of variety. And then a diamond Roosevelt elk at 382.8. And I think we've got everything in this room. So onto the room opposite this. And this one will be a little bit faster. We've got some small game, a diamond tufted duck. I think this was our first, 965. We do have our second piebald diamond harlequin duck. I wouldn't call this a super rare. Piebald diamonds happen relatively often. We've got a diamond rock ptarmigan, 709. A diamond scrub hare at 5.5. And our only ever albino European hare happened to be a gold, 5.5 score. We found it at night. We were hunting, I guess, wolves on Quadro Colinas and stumbled into something so much cooler. They're quite rare, so for that to end up being a gold, super, super lucky. So then kind of the wall of different racks for access to your diamonds, the 235, 230. On this side, a level 4 diamond, 218, just barely cracks diamond, and then 228 on the left side. Then we've got one of our biggest ever diamond Rocky Mountain elk, a 509, and on the back wall, 3 more racks for diamond moose, 286, 298, and 279. There are so many different diamond racks when you really look at the moose, especially with the brow tines and stuff. It's cool to try to display them all, and I don't know if we have every single one of them, but we've certainly tried. So 2 options now. We could go down either one of these hallways, and since we're talking about the different moose racks, let's go in this direction. A 275.2 diamond moose. This was a level 4. He was nearly guaranteed. I think he was 274 minimum. Of course, diamond is 274.99. And when Call of the Wild made the switch to scoring system 2.0 in early 2020, I made the decision to make this lodge nothing but animal shot post the scoring change. So this was our first diamond true axe moose after the change, and it was a level 4 of all things after so many level 5 trolls. Then we've got our only diamond true axe plains bison, a 186 shot back in August. Our best kill by far from the Moose Great One grind over on Leighton, a 237.1 albino. It just looks so cool. We've shot a good number of rare bulls, nothing even close to this. This is by far the best. Then our Diamond Truax Euro Bison, we actually shot him first in July of this past year, 129 score, and a Diamond Rosie, a 383. So that we don't miss it, little Diamond Black Grouse here, this was our first Diamond, 120.8. Then we've got a wall of Harlequin Duck variations. Got the albino in the top, 6.4 albino. I think he's the only one that we've ever gotten, happened to be a gold. Got our big diamond here at 7.3, a melanistic, which they were a little more common than the albinos. We've got a good number of those, another 6.4 gold, and that other piebald diamond. This, I think, is max score at 7.4. That was shot February of 2021. Insane how many Harlequin Duck trophies we got, but all that time spent on Yukon Valley, it really paid off for that little kind of multi-mount thing we got going there. We've got, from March of this year, a 505 light gray Diamond Rocky Mountain Elk. That is my favorite fur type for them. He's kind of wonky uneven. If we put him facing this way, you can see it. But poses like that make it look a little better. I kind of like that more than what we had, so why don't we leave it? Then we've got our first ever Diamond Gator, a 493.4. Our newest Diamond Gator, a 510.6, shot in the same hunt as our albino raccoon, by the way, and another Diamond Grizzly at 67.5999 repeating. Few Diamond Feral Goats, a 214 white and a 212 black-white. Some of the only remaining Diamond Feral Goats in this lodge. We had a ton and have slowly replaced them with other things, but I like that kind of over the doorway. Just adds to the lodge in that spot. We've got our first ever Diamond Raccoon. Wouldn't he be a 12 score flat? It was just super fitting. A Diamond Mallard, 20.8, I think. This was shot on a live stream. He was the max weight, which is of course 2.10 kilo, and not the max score, 20.8, because that is just our luck. We've got another max score Gensbuck, the one thing we do get max scores of, at 358. That Bighorns brown variant Cape Buffalo Diamond. I talked earlier about the changes to how rare or uncommon the brown variant is. This was shot when brown was much more common. Then, speaking of much more common, our dark variant, 347 Diamond Gensbuck. Again, this was shot when dark was not a rare fur variation, now it actually is. We've got our brown hybrid feral pig here, a 152.9. Just one of the cooler rares from the Red Deer Great One grind. Piebald, 184.4. We've got some bigger ones, but I like that rack a lot. It's uneven as you can tell, but he still makes gold, and it's just a good looking red deer. If you were to shoot a red deer in real life and shot one this big, it would absolutely be a trophy. On this side, a not messed up 266 gold piebald whitetail. This was shot when the diamond requirement was actually 272, I think. So this guy being a 266 fell just shy. If we shot him today with that score, easily makes diamond. Got a Diamond Rio Grande Turkey, 4.8, that is the max score. And then the curled brow tine rack, 324 Diamond Mule Deer. We talked about the different variants for Diamond Moose Antlers. We've got, I believe, at least one of every Diamond Mule Deer rack in here as well. Got a Diamond Mountain Goat at 111, that's the beige variant. Diamond Reindeer at 436, and a nice piebald moose at 222. 98.4 scoring pronghorn, that was from July of 2020. And then I've missed this so many times. 2 piebald diamond cinnamon teal, 4.6, this was April of 2020. And oh, they both were. And then 4.7 from April 6th. So my recollection is, this first one, I didn't know was a piebald. I think I just shot a level 3 cinnamon teal. They were so common, they kind of still are, but especially back then, it meant nothing to shoot a diamond cinnamon teal. Didn't realize it was a rare. Ends up being a 4.7 piebald diamond. This one, I knew was a piebald, but he was flying away and getting really far away. I didn't have time to press record, so neither of these were recorded. Kind of unfortunate, but cool little kills with a backstory. And then this mount was out in the front room, has been moved back here to max core diamond peccary. Ochre fur type, which is uncommon and pretty darn cool looking. And of course the gray variant. The gray was shot on our own map, just while running around not too long after Rancho came out, and the ochre, a month or so later. Just crazy our luck with javelina. So many big ones, a couple of max scores, makes for a really nice multi-mount here. So then we can move into the back room on this side of the hallway, which features some of our biggest Diamond Black Bear from the Great One grind, 2 max scores, Dusky and Dark variant. So the Dusky variant, most of our Diamond Black Bear, 30 plus diamonds, most of them were the Dusky variant. The Dark variant, most Dark level 9 Black Bears trolled us. When they didn't troll, there were low scores, 22.8, 23.1 in that area. This one was on stream, a max score. And one of my favorite kills from the grind. Got a bunch of rares and stuff too, but just that particular one, it's the bottom bear in this multi-mount. Just something that so rarely seemed to happen for us. So I talked about the glitched rack mule deer earlier in this video. This is the fixed glitch rack, 312.2. Now when we shot him, he wasn't glitched. When they fixed it, obviously the mule deer that had that rack going forward looked correct, and this is what they were supposed to look like. Before, the rack was literally backwards, and it caused them to score much higher than they should have. So we shot some 340s when they were glitched. That 338 back in the front room is our biggest one unglitched, and this is yet another rack that we got to add to the collection last March in 2022. Got a crazy wonky whitetail at 277, one of our better pronghorn ever. That was this year, a 102.2. This was April of 2023, so I think this is when I was sick. It almost had to have been, and we ended up shooting 2 different diamonds in the same server. We've got yet another diamond mule deer, a 328 blonde. This is the Browtine nearly touching rack once again. Little diamond willow ptarmigan at 787. The only 2 diamond bighorn sheep in this lodge, a 172.4 from February of 2021, and a 172.3 from July of 2020. Got a diamond pheasant here, and our only diamond hazel grouse. This was a 437.5. By far the biggest hazel grouse we've found, by the way. I haven't seen a max weight 2. I haven't seen really many to go above like 405. Got lucky in this one making the diamond requirement. And then our biggest rare from the Red Deer Great One grind, a 236.2 piebald. Shot him across the lake up north, and I remember this was like, it would have been 4 days after we got Shadow. She was super tiny, she was laying on my lap, and Kyla actually had to carry her out of the room because I was so excited to work Shadow up and she was barking and crying. So, cool little backstory I don't think I've ever told about that red deer. Before we get to the back wall of antler there, super new edition, couple of weeks back, yet again, a max weight diamond that's not max score, 28.9 light brown variant brown bear from Revan to the Coast. Shot with a 6.5, the weirdest weapon we could have shot a diamond brown bear with. Got another diamond goldeneye. I think this is our biggest one, 1238.9. They're all in that same general vicinity. And then our only other light gray variant, Rocky Mountain elk. I mentioned it being my favorite variant. This was the only one that we got, and the only one we had for so long, up until last March where we got the bigger one out front there. And then finally, our wall of antler, featuring a couple of super rares. Got a sandbar deer, 166.7 diamond. He would have been our first diamond sandbar. Our only diamond rusa at 151.2. Still a super impressive deer, by the way. The longer we hunt Emerald Coast and the more I see, average size rooster deer, the diamond just looks bigger and bigger. Got a diamond Roosevelt elk in the middle at 400.5, and then the 2 piebald diamond axis deer. Got one from 2021 and one from 2020. The 2020 piebald diamond was not a super rare in the sense that piebalds are responding super often. By 2021, that had been fixed, and this would, by definition, be a super rare. I still think diamond axis deer were relatively common at the time, so I don't really consider it one. Technically, I guess it is, but I don't count it when, asked about how many super rares we've had. Then up top, some moose. Got our biggest piebald. The thing that sucks about this was shot on 12/12. I had no idea until just now. So the unfortunate thing was this was shot on Medved during the moose grind. He was behind some brush, and I didn't realize he was piebald. So another one that we didn't actually record. We've got our big Mela, 216.9, and then the Mocha from the Taya Aurora missions, a 209.8. I think that one's guaranteed to be uneven, which kind of bothered me, but yet another moose variant. I know it's a mission animal, but we've got every rare for moose in this lodge as a gold. Why not add Mocha to that list? I do think, though, We got everything in this room, so we'll go down the opposite hallway. And this hallway needs an addition, and this was pointed out to me in the comments. And there's a little bit of a story behind it that we'll talk about in just a second. Everything in this hallway, including the goose, including the antelope jackrabbits, was taken with the same weapon. That weapon is the Hawk Edge bow that currently I've got customized with the New England Mountains premium wrap. So, those animals consist of a 173.7 diamond water buffalo, a 284.6 diamond European bison, and another thing, maybe we should try to get some true horns ones for the bison. Then our bighorns diamond cape, a 157.8. We had a small horns diamond here for forever, but especially compared to just the pure size of the bison, it didn't look big enough. So we grinded for this one in single player, finally got him with the Hawk Edge bow, and just a fun grind, you know, trying to add to the lodge, upgrade a smaller horns one, super cool. And then the 225 scoring diamond plains bison. Again, I think it would be good maybe to try to get some true horns ones with the bow. That can be something to work on for this year. Then a couple of diamond rockies, a 494 and a 484. This was kind of dumb, I'm not gonna lie. An 8.8 scoring diamond Canada goose shot with the bow at, I think, 140 something meters. Missed him like 10 times. Just happened to catch him super far away. I guess it was kind of cool, but frankly, it was dumb luck, as are many things in this lodge. Then our pair of antelope jackrabbits. I love these multi-mounts that can fit on the super small plaques. I'd like for there to be more of them for the small game. But we got the model, that would be the one I think on the left, and then the dark brown, the one on the right. I might have that backwards. But 6.4, 6.6, both taken with the bow. And when we found the second one, I had to go back and get the bow. We weren't hunting for him, but I knew what I was going to do. I knew I was going to put it on this plaque. And because everything else in this hallway was taken with the bow, we had to add that to it. So just on the other side of this hallway is a diamond bantang. By the way, this mocha at 141 is not our biggest diamond. The one out front that we got first actually would be our biggest. So it was pointed out to me that we've got all these biggest animals in the Hunter Call of the Wild. Bison, Cape Buffalo, Euro Bison, Water Buffalo, all taken with a bow. We should add a bantang to this list, and I totally agree. And that was pointed out to me before the video with the diamond bantang dropped. Sadly, as I prepped that content for traveling for the holidays, I had already shot the diamond bantang, so we will be in the fairly near future heading back to Emerald Coast to try to get a diamond bantang with a bow. So that we don't miss them, we've got a diamond roe deer at 82.4, and I think our first diamond sika deer, this was a 214.6, a pretty big one. Dark spotted variant, pretty cool looking deer, and the super straight beams, not something a bunch of sika deer have. Then we've got another kill from this year, September. This was the angler and the hunter Call of the Wild video combined, 241.6 albino, and again, I talked about the mule deer racks and the stickers. I love that our albino has the stickers as well. Opposite side, another big mule deer, a 334.6, couple of diamond sikas, 210 and 209, and a diamond rosie at 383 in the middle. Got this kill from just a few weeks ago over on Yukon Valley. This was a max weight caribou, 458.9 score, our biggest caribou or reindeer ever with the true racks. Got a female gold melanistic chamois next to a leucistic gold chamois at 56.3. This was shot with buckshot, of all things. We were doing a buckshot hunt and happened to find, I wouldn't call it a crazy rare, leucistic chamois were overspawning. That seems to be a trend. Lots of things were overspawning at different times. But getting him with a buckshot, being that he was as big as he was, had to keep him in the lodge. We do have another diamond caribou, a 443, and now the only albino water buffalo left in the lodge, a 143.1. That's something else we could try to work on. Maybe some water buffalo hunts. Try to get one a little bit bigger. Doesn't have to be a diamond, but a little more curl would definitely be nice. Got our recent diamond black grouse. This was shot in the same hunt. I think the next kill after our diamond brown bear from the other room. Diamond goldeneye at 1249. That means the one earlier was not our biggest. And back here, a diamond eastern cottontail, 2 score flat. They can go up to 2.1. A little bit better than the first one we got, and a different fur variant. Our reindeer multi-mount, what was our biggest diamond reindeer or caribou, a 458.5 from March of 2020, and a couple of rares. The piebald back here, I think this was shot in the same hunt as 2 other diamonds and at least 1 piebald. Crazy hunt of Medved Taiga. And then this 295. We kind of attempted a grind a couple of years back at trying to get 2 gold rare reindeer for this mount. And reindeer make gold so infrequently. It became something we kind of abandoned. Maybe one day we'll get back to it. But at 295 melanistic, this was by far the best thing we got during that grind. And it definitely adds some variety to the mount. Over on this wall, got a couple of wild boar and a new addition, actually a couple of new additions, a 157.2 brown variant from earlier this month. This was shot on Quattro Colinas, got a 154 from September of 2020, and then the Black Spots Diamond Pharaoh Pig, our only one that we've ever gotten with this fur variant from Emerald Coast. 152.3, pretty good size one as well. Don't want to miss our other Diamond Green Wing Teal. This was a 497.3. We do have still our biggest moose ever, 300.5. All the moose hunting we've done, the 4,000 plus kills of moose grinding, no 300 plus diamonds. This 300.5 from Leighton remains to be our biggest one. We do have one of the newest additions. Actually, I think this would be the newest addition. Molting fur type mountain hare. Our only rare mountain hare. It looks incredible. I'd love to get a bigger one. There's actually a couple other rares too that would be really cool. But for now, one of my favorite kills from Revan to the Coast, one of our rarest kills from Revan to the Coast. We've then got the Piebald Mythical Lynx, also Revan Tuli, next to the Melanistic Lynx. Who would have guessed it? From Revan to the Coast. That was shot while trying to get the Diamond Raccoon Dog, and then there was a just crazy amount of kills we were getting, whether it was the Diamond Geese or eventually the Diamond Raccoon Dog. This Melanistic Lynx was shot before all those things, but didn't make it into the video until the geese, because we kept on killing cool things. Finally, in this mount here, a red-brown Diamond Grey Wolf. Again, shot before they were an actual rare. This was an uncommon diamond. Still a very cool kill. We shot this live on Twitch. Then we've got a Melanistic Wolf, just a 31.8 bronze, and then the Egg White, 33.3 silver. So we shot an Egg White Wolf fairly recently. Egg Whites are now rare, and I think we taxed it. I'm not going to try to mess with it now, but that's definitely something we should switch out. They're both just silver females anyway. Might as well add the one that was legitimately rare in there, but we can just pretend that one is it for now. And I think, unless I'm missing something, got everything in all the rooms, and we can head into the back room. All of our best multi-mounts, and some of our best kills on the wall, exist in this room, and we're going to try to go around in this direction. We'll start with our Diamond Coyote, a 59.3, one of our biggest ones ever. And the ducks in here, we've got an 18.3 Piebald, a 17.1 Leucistic, and then this 12.3 Melanistic. You need a female mallard for that last spot. I really want, and we've said this every year we've done the Lodge Tour, probably since 2019, I really want a gold rare female mallard. The odds are so low. Rarely do female mallards make gold. Obviously, getting it to be gold and then rare, super unlikely, but it's the dream kill for this multi-mount. It would just be really nice to have all gold rares and that huge diamond. Anyway, speaking of some of the more absurd luck kills we've had, got this Diamond Mouflon, a 185.6 from 2021, but it's the wolves in this mount. Got the gray variant on the far right, 39.1. In the middle, a gray-brown, 39.2. And then this winter variant, 39.9. I think we were doing missions on Quattro Colinas. I know we shot it at night drinking. Max weight, not max score. Who would have thought? But I always love the winter variant. It's actually my favorite even over albinos. To get a giant diamond like that, and that is a super rare, I think. Just crazy. Not only to get that, but to have 3 different variants for Diamond Grey Wolves. Or Diamond Iberian Wolves, I should say. Before we miss it, we'll do all of our geese on this wall here. We've got our 9.1 diamond. This is our biggest diamond Canada goose. 8.1 with a bunch of 9s repeating gray variant. Up top, an 8.69 brown hybrid diamond. Then we've got, I think, one of 2 melanistics that we've ever killed. 6.7, gold to 6.8. We talked about wanting the gold rares. So close on that one. A 6.3 bald leucistic, I think maybe one of 2. No, this was the female. This was the only one we've ever gotten. And then lastly, this is a goose that Kyla shot. This was shot October 1st of 2021. I had a 6.3, I think, light gray leucistic. She got this gold. And it was like 2 days before I set up a PC for her. It was not too long after we moved into this house. That kill's probably always going to stay on the wall, especially because we have this multi-mount thing going already. Speaking of walls of waterfowl, we've got our Diamond Harlequin, 7.5. I was thinking 7.4 was max score earlier for that piebald. It was not. Still a big one, but 7.5 would be the max. Diamond Tufted Duck, Diamond Mallard, Diamond Eurasian Teal, Diamond Goldeneye, 1276. That would be our biggest one. That was shot in May of this year. I didn't even realize just how big that one was. And then finally a Diamond Cinnamon Teal, another max score at 4.8. Got a Diamond Pronghorn at 100.5. Little light brown Diamond Merriam Turkey at 4.6. And then yet another relic, a 289.3 Diamond Whitetail. This is our highest scoring Diamond Whitetail ever. And again, they can't score that high anymore, but I want to keep that one there because we never got one bigger than that. Speaking of never getting one bigger than that, our biggest Diamond Lynx, yet another Revan to the Coast kill, 28.9, shot live on stream, and something we worked so hard for and got last month. Our only Diamond Bobcat from New England Mountains. So many 35 to 45 kilo tracks followed, and finally one led to a level 9 that we got to take with the 44 lever action. Before we go through the kind of backside of this room for all those multi-mounts, let's go to this side. A little mount of roe deer, this 90.7. They don't score in the 90s anymore. Just a huge diamond. I think 86-ish is about as big as they get, but I loved that one cracked 90 back then. So many changes you get to see as we walk through this lodge. Then we've got a 71.4 melanistic, that would be a Quattro Kalina skill, followed by a piebald at 69.2, also shot on Quattro. Pretty cool kill here. I think this was our first Diamond Puma, following the Scoring System 2.0 changes that kind of prompted this lodge to be only Scoring System 2.0. Hunted for a Diamond Puma for a while, finally got one. It was a gray, paired with just a little 178.5 diamond. Back here, our other two albino Cape Buffalo, a 127.6 and a 133.6, and quickly, they've all got different horns, 3 different albinos, 2 7s and an 8 I think they were. Kinda got that wider set horns, more narrow set, and the one out on this side, it's a little wider set, and it's got that boss in the middle. It's just cool that it worked out. You know, the variety in the lodge is something I love, and we really got lucky with our Cape Buffalo. Finally in the middle there, a 156.9, may have been our first bighorns. This is all the way back in 2020. Then we've got 2 Diamond Kangaroo, 513 and 497. I still want a brown variant diamond for like the opposite one here, but for now 2 grays. A pretty nice albino blacktail next to our biggest diamond mountain line at 39.7. Blacktail was 141.4. A pretty cool mount with a little bit of a story. We've got this 172 scoring melanistic plains bison. That was shot straight through the heart and dropped with the shotgun. Not something I really ever expected to do, but one of my favorite kills are only gold melanistic plains bison, and he's in a mount with a max score gray wolf and an albino female gray wolf. Adding this common diamond, the max score, and the albino to this multi-mount means that we've got one of every single gray wolf variant in the trophy lodge. Then we've got our Grand Slam, our Bathites Ibex, 200.8, our biggest Bathites. We've got also in the back our Diamond Grados. This was shot just a couple of months ago, a 104.8. Yet again, our biggest for that species ever. 91.9 Southeastern Spanish Ibex at the bottom here, that was shot back in 2021. And finally, our Brown Hybrid Ronda. At one time, like 3 of these were all killed within a matter of a couple of days. This was the last thing we did before Silverish Peaks came out. We got our Great One Whitetail, we got our Diamond Roosevelt Elk, and then we got to this Ibex grind. But since then, we've improved on all those, and that's the fun part about these trophy lodges, always trying to improve. And if I'm not mistaken, the last mount in this trophy lodge is our Saltwater Croc, 1097.7. Guess if he was max weight. He was. Not max score. 1100 is the max score. And our first Diamond Magpie, orange variant. 3.9 score that went away for a second there. And that is the tour of our Trophy Lodge for 2023. So as I mentioned, I think we know there's a new map coming in 2024, and assuming there's any new species on it, we're at this point now where there's not much in this lodge I'd want to take down other than just kind of upgrading. Let's say we have a bigger blacktail. I'll take this one down and put the bigger one there. But as far as new species go, completely removing something from the lodge, I think we're likely to start a second trophy lodge. Or maybe use our second trophy lodge a little bit more than we do. And maybe we'll have 2 trophy lodge tours for next time. And it may even open up spots for more multi-mounts and all that kind of stuff. So looking forward to that. But I think this video has been long enough. We're nearing an hour. Hopefully you guys enjoyed walking through the lodge, getting to see everything we have set up. Let me know in the comments below how many of the hunts do you remember for these types of kills. What's your favorite one in the trophy lodge? And I think on that note, that's going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Happy New Year's Eve, and I'll see you next time.